Hello and welcome to ED 584, and this is the introduction for learning module number 4. And this module will take us into the month of February, which is considered the President's Month, and I will be sharing some pictures, not all of them that I've taken, and actually a few of them are things that I've taken over the years, but share a little bit of presidential history as we go through this month. Moving into the learning module. Module 4 serves as a transition from our study of descriptive statistics, probability, normal distributions, and sampling distributions to that of hypothesis testing and inferential statistical procedures in education. Inferential procedures begin with the researcher articulating a hypothesis, which can be stated in the null or alternative forms about a population, and then testing that hypothesis to see if it appears to be correct based on the interpretation of statistical analysis. The goal of inferential statistics is to infer findings from a sample to that of a population. In review, a critical aspect that allows for this is that the sample has been selected through some form of random selection process, randomization. The extent to which we can correctly infer the sample findings to that of the population is called external validity. For this module, we are particularly concerned with hypothesis testing of means. More specifically, we will examine the z-test procedure, which forms the basic foundation of many other procedures. The purpose of the z-test procedure is to test hypotheses concerning a single population with a known variance. Because the z-test requires information about the population that we often do not have, such as variance, we also begin to explore other procedures that are more commonly used. Specifically, we begin looking at one form of a t-test, that being a one independent sample t-test. This t-test procedure serves the same purpose as the z-test, but does not require us to know the population variance. We use the one independent sample t-test to compare our sample data to that of the known population parameter, mean in this case. We are interested to know if the population from which our sample is taken has the same mean value as that of the known population parameter. For a one independent sample t-test, the purported population mean is stated and is either being tested to see if in fact the purported value is valid, or if a sample from another population is the same. Either way, the result indicates whether the sample mean is representative of the purported population mean. Two independent samples t-tests are also studied. This form of the t-test is used to investigate whether or not a statistical difference exists between groups. Assumptions associated with this test require that the sample is randomly selected, that the population from which the sample was drawn is normally distributed, and that the two samples are independent from each other. Like with other hypotheses tests, the null hypothesis is tested through the use of the t-test procedure. Finding a statistically significant difference leads us to follow-up procedures. Effect size is studied and calculated as a statistic that represents the size of the difference of a statistically significant finding. Power is then examined. Power represents the likelihood that we will reject the null hypothesis when in fact the null hypothesis is false. It's interesting to reflect on the fact that a statistically significant finding may not have any particular or practical implications if the difference found is minimal. Thus, the importance of also examining effect size. One of the issues can be that with large sample sizes, very small differences between means may show a statistical difference that does not represent any practical difference. That is where effect size comes into play. and many research journals require researchers to report the effect size of their findings within published research manuscripts. Then you can go into the objectives, the learning objectives for this module, and I won't go on those. I'll let you read those as you're reading the introduction. And then as far as the activities and assignments for Module 4, when we go into the readings from the Statistics for the Behavioral Sciences, Chapter 8 on hypothesis testing, and there's the supporting PowerPoint slideshow, and the password is available here. And then there's the hypothesis testing YouTube video, which provided. Second part is Chapter 9, testing means, 1 sample and 2 independent sample t-tests. And we'll have you read the whole chapter. Supporting PowerPoint video is provided, and there's a YouTube video that you can use as a complement to the readings. In the book, How to Use SPSS, please read 6.1 and 6.2, which covers hypothesis testing and single sample t-tests. The assignments and assessments, you'll have the Module 4 reflective commentary. The link is provided in this module. There will be the 10-point quiz, and this is quiz number 3, and this will be over chapters 8 and 9 in the textbook Statistics for the Behavioral Sciences, and it's a multiple choice quiz. Assignment 1 will be due at the end of this module, and this is a 50-point assignment. There's a link in this module, and that will take you to instructions, and we'll look at the link here shortly and look at the instructions. And this assignment is over chapters 1 through 7 of the Statistics for the Behavioral Sciences. Here are the links. Link to the PowerPoint for hypothesis testing. Here's the link to the PowerPoint or the YouTube presentation. Link to the Chapter 9, 1 sample, 2 independent sample t-test, and also links to YouTube videos for both of those procedures. Link to the discussion board, link to the quiz, and here's for assignment 1, clicking the link. And here it is. This will be due on Sunday, February 4th, and it's worth 50 points. And here are the questions from the textbook, where you will go into the textbook and answer the questions for the following chapters. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. The assignment will be submitted through this page on Blackboard Learn, and they're to be submitted as Word documents, and I will not accept a PDF, or I will not accept if it's uploaded to an online file sharing such as Google Docs. So please use this link to submit the assignment. This concludes the introduction for Module 4. We're moving, this module takes us out of January again and into February. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Also, get into the habit of checking the gradebook to make sure that points have been posted for all of the assignments that you have submitted. If anything is missing, do not hesitate to let me know. Thank you, and take care, and look forward to reading your discussions, and also look forward to grading your first assignment. Take care.